You can be #1 on Google for $18.97 a week. Now, I know that sounds amazing, but it's possible by cooperating with other firms around the country in the same business that you're in. Now, will this work? Let's take a look at the screen and I'll show you some results. If you type in outsourced bookkeeping, my wife's website is #1 nationwide. If you type in QuickBooks training or free QuickBooks training, her QuickBooks Express website is #1 nationwide. I own a paperless overnight software company, a document management company. If you type in document management, the website is #1. Well, in this case, it's right below Wikipedia, but we're the first commercial venture on the internet. Now, the reason that this works is because we're combining the efforts of many firms into one website. And I actually figured this out working for my wife's accounting firm. Let's take a look at this again. My wife started an outsourced bookkeeping business 5 years ago, and she came to me and said, I would like some more sales leads. So I built a website for her, and then we started doing all the things that we read about in the manuals to get leads. And we actually got a lot of leads. On that term, outsourced bookkeeping, she generates an average of 1,000 visitors a month. And there are only 3,600 people a month, though, that type that in, but she gets 1,000 of them, about 30%. Then we discovered recently that there are actually 700,000 people that type some variation of outsourced bookkeeping into the internet. And so now the number of leads that we're going to generate is going to go through the roof. Now, when Google searches the internet, this is really important information because it's going to lead to how you can get sales leads for $18.97 a week by being #1 on Google. Right now, there are 24,000 accounting firms. And remember, we're doing this for accounting firms, but this same information works for law firms, architects, dentist offices, and we're actually doing the same exact process for 248 different categories of business right now. We're just using accountants as an example. The average accountant will do between 20 and 40% of what it takes to be noticed on Google. All we have to do is go in and find out what those leaders are doing, how many backlinks they have, how many articles they've posted, and then we just need to do more. And so if we do more, if we do 80% of what it takes to get to the top of Google, when Google gets a search, they look out across the universe, and when they see the #1, I've done the most, I've got the best content site, that's the site that goes to the top. Now, what this means to you is that for $18.97 a week, you can be #1 on Google. Here's how we did this. We know there are 368 metropolitan markets in America, MSAs. New York's the largest, Reno, Nevada's the smallest. And we know there are 248 types of businesses where we can drive the local accountant, the local lawyer, the local house painter to the #1 slot in Google. But I can only do it for one firm in any particular market. But here's the real secret. There's no reason for 368 of us across America to all be struggling for position on Google. Each one of us spending $200, $400, $1,000 a month trying to get our website noticed. What if we all combined into one website? And when that one website has the combined effort of 368 individual firms, but in the same industry, all across America, when we have the combined effort of those 368 firms, guess what? We can do 80 to 90% of what it takes to get to the top of Google on the top 20 keywords, and 700,000 or 6 million visitors, depending on the category, like payroll gets 6 million, DUI gets 6 million, outsourced bookkeeping only gets 700,000. These numbers are phenomenal, but they're not ours if we're by ourselves out there trying to get this put together and trying to get noticed. It's just a lot of frustration. You might have even tried pay-per-click. Oh my God, you know what a loss that is. But can you imagine if 368 people are using the same website? Now, how does that work? We use something called IP identifiers. As a matter of fact, if you look at the computer screen, I'll show you right now. You see what happens is when someone visits a website, we can tell what their IP address is when they come in. I'm going to actually hit my little felt tip marker here. We can tell what their IP address is, and if you're the accountant for Los Angeles, or if you're the lawyer for Ventura County, the site automatically changes with your picture and your name and your phone number. And this is called a landing page. It's designed to bring in new prospects. That's its only job, is to get prospects. So come back to me. So if we all work together on this one website, then we could pick the 20 keywords that get keyed in 80-90% of the time and drive that one website to the top. And that's what we're doing here. Now, when we started this, we're puppies. We didn't understand this market, and we didn't understand the industry. We picked one word, for example, in accounting, we picked one word, outsourced bookkeeping, and we killed it. But then we found out there's only 3,600 a month searching it. Now we know there are 700,000 a month, and we now know that we can get 30% or more of those people to click through. Hundreds of thousands of people a month shared between the 368 accountants. Same thing in other industries. To find out if we're going to be doing this in your particular type of business, whether you're a DUI lawyer or a payroll accountant, call us on the phone. To find out if your town is available, that we haven't already sold it, call us on the phone or send us an email, because this will be the greatest way to ever generate sales leads that you've ever used. Now, there's a setup fee, of course, because the workload is enormous, and it'll take us 3 months minimum, maybe 6 months, before we're at the top on every single one of these keywords. It's an incredible amount of work. It takes 8 full-time people working on one particular industry to get all the work done, to get to the 80 and 90% of what everybody else is doing, so Google pops us to the top every time. But we'll get her done. It's Casey Tribute Lonesome Cowboy. Send us an email or call us on the phone right now, and we'll show you how to keep your cash register ringing.